really don't want to do this review. I just hate this show so much. God, it's so awful. Ah, Father, it was just so. Okay, let me just get this over with. That chipper today because I gotta do this review, so I'm just sorry you're going into this one. Alright, so back again for another review of the next 5 episodes of the garbage fire shitfest that is Masters of the Universe Revelation Part 2. The first 5 episodes of this mess, we all had to swallow the bold-faced lies of Kevin Smith for creating this steaming pile of horse manure. And I ended up giving what was possibly my angriest review ever for part 1 of this. And I use this term loosely, the show. And anyway, as I predicted, the second part was going to be just as bad. Well, I was wrong because it's much worse. So here we go, ready for another one. Excuse me if I cuss, but you know, this show does that to you. So. Okay, where did we leave off again? Oh, right, now I remember. After sitting through 5 episodes of Teela's moody, underlined lesbian romp across Eternia with her girlfriend Andra and Evilyn in tow, with He-Man and Skeletor having died, they go on and on and on about how the men ruined everything and they have to fix it. This nonsense dragged on, ruining anything likable about this show, leading up to Adam being revived and then subsequently stabbed in the back by a restored Skeletor, who had been hiding within Evelyn all along and biding his time. He then claims the Sword of Power, because apparently anybody could just pick it up, summons the power of Grayskull and becomes Skelegod. I kid you not, that is the exact name that they're using, Skelegod. Serious. After finally claiming the power that he's wanted for years, Skeletor would not shut the F up. Seriously, for the entire 5 episodes, that skull-faced jackass rambled on like he had diarrhea of the mouth or something, yet never said anything of any actual importance. I mean, after he stabbed Adam, killed the sorceress, I mean, she was pretty much useless anyway, but then transformed Evelyn into the new sorceress that's going to come back to bite him in the ass, and took control of Castle Grayskull. But not surprisingly, he still managed to screw everything up and lose all of the power because he's a gibbering dumbass. I mean, I disliked him as a character in part 1, and he only got worse in the second part. No vision, no plan, no common sense. I mean, he's just portrayed as a stupid, jabbering skull monkey that wouldn't shut the... Okay, let me move on then. Now, I have long suspected that Adam was capable of calling down the power of Grayskull without using the Sword of Power. I mean, I had even hoped that they would craft a story showing that he had dormant powers of his own, and when combined with the power of Grayskull, it would create a new power, allowing him to become a more powerful He-Man. I even made reference to that in my first video. I talked about a story that they could have used that with. Well, as usual, they didn't go that way, and instead, when Adam called down the power without the sword, he turned into a raging, mindless Hulkman. He looked like a combination of White Hulk and Tarzan, and especially when he's swinging through the trees like a white ape. The fight between Hulkman and Skelly God, yep, still that's the name, is probably the best of the entire show, and that's not as good as it sounds. Initially, it was fun watching Hulkman zipping around and beating Skelly God like a rag doll, but after 20 seconds, there was barely any skill or interesting techniques, plus the animation quality was pretty subpar. The whole thing was just a bunch of flailing around with no actual context to it, and ended with Teela using magic to teleport them away. Yeah, using magic. Don't worry, I'm getting to that bullshit next. I'm getting to it. Now, the worst kept secret in all of Eternia is that the sorceress is Teela's mother. Literally everyone knows. And they kept dancing around it in part 1. Rather than, trying to craft a story around this fact and having her really explore it and come to understand it. No, they just tiptoed or tap-toed, whatever the hell they want to tap dance all around it. Idiots. Instead, it was more important to give Teela a bad haircut. I mean, seriously, her haircut looks horrible. Muscles, make her look like a man, and give her a whiny, rude, it's all about me, toxic bitch attitude. Because that works. So with no magical training whatsoever, having never used magic before, suddenly she just starts to use it, and that's supposed to make sense. Now, here the next thing, I remember the king and queen, when they finally show up, they are all apologetic to her, saying that she was right to be upset since she was hurt. Now, keep in mind, this is the same woman who berated and yelled at them literal minutes after their only child died. Because no one told her Adam was He-Man and her feelings were hurt. That was more important than parents grieving for their lost child. We're supposed to be okay with the fact that this woman acted like a straight-up bitch. And that's supposed to be called empowerment. Oh, yeah. I mean, plus she just figures out who her mother is. Just figures out that the sorceress was her mother, since again it is the worst kept secret ever. And when the shit hits the fan, she just decides to become the sorceress, and everyone is like, okay, you can do it, we believe in you. Even though you have no idea what the bloody hell you're doing, we still believe in you, right? We're not all white and stupid at all. No. So, since Teela is such a horrible character, let's add another toxic muscle woman into the mix. No, not Andra, who does virtually nothing as usual, but Evilyn. Because why not? Right? We don't care about her story at this point. So let's just take a quick look at Evelyn's backstory. When she was 5 years old, her crazy, starving parents tried to eat her. Jesus Christ. So she ran away and lived in the sewers for 20 years. Oh my God. Or you couldn't even... but... One day, while stealing from someone, Skeletor saved her, took her back with him, and taught her some pieces of magic. That's it. Holy shit, you make this show. I mean, this is just pissing all over our backstory completely. Anyway, so since Skeletor hasn't been treating her great, because apparently this is supposed to be a CW special and not an evil lair, she coaxes him into transforming back to his original form for some necrophilia sex. Look up necrophilia, I'm not going to go into that. And then just picks up this sword of power and claims it for her own, because once again, anybody could pick it up. Literally anybody. I mean, if a flicking tree squirrel pick it up, it could probably become he squirrel or some bloody thing. So she gets the sword and transforms herself into a muscle-bound Vegas showgirl with bad makeup that wants to wipe out all of creation because Skeletor said mean words to her and never gave her any hugs. God have mercy. I mean, I swear to God, this shit just got worse with each passing second. So Godlin, yep, that's her official name. It's like Skelly God. Now we have Godlin. Projects herself to all of Eternia and vaporizes heaven in front of everyone. Literally wipes out heaven in front of everyone. That's pretty much the worst thing you could do, because that's where people go when the good people go when they die. You just wipe it out. Then goes off to have visions of goats, snakes, birds, or some shit like that, which apparently reassures her that mass genocide is the way to go. Honestly, the whole thing is so beyond stupid and moronic, it's not even worth caring about. Honestly. So long story short, Skeletor goes to help Adam and the rest of them stop Godlin, and they let him because a demon that's been trying to murder you all for years can obviously be trusted. I mean, these people get dumber with each second. Anyway, Teela sends a magic message to all of Eternia, because you know it takes no training to use magic anymore, to help them fight. Then she goes to Grayskull and becomes the new sorceress. I just hate this thing so freaking much. But with a twist this time. She can leave the castle whenever she wants, unlike all the other hundreds of sorceresses before her. Apparently there were a lot, and they all were under house arrest. Adam and Skeletor fight Godlin while all the people of Eternia battle the forces of hell that she's controlling. You know, that happens. This was pretty much 2.5 hours of my life I'll never get back, honestly. So here's how this nonsense works out. Adam gets his sword back and becomes useless man again. Then he gives some of the power to Skeletor, who immediately turns on him. Yeah, no one saw that coming. Teela and Godlin have a magic muscle woman smackdown that is not even partially interesting. It's just, I mean, it's less interesting than watching paint dry. Yet everything is wrapped up when Teela has a heart-to-heart talk with her, and Godlin decides to turn over a new leaf, relinquish her power, and be good now. And everyone is okay with that. Plus Orko coming back to life for some ungodly reason, I don't know. Andra becomes the new man-at-arms, complete with her own bad haircut, you know, because apparently hot wiring a blaster or something is all the qualifications you need for that job, nothing else. Evilyn goes off to some place and abandons her magic staff there, and they just let her. I mean, it's not like the woman wiped out heaven or anything. But sure, let's let her go. She probably won't do it anymore. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Who else? Yeah, Skeletor tries to destroy Triclops and his creepy cult, but then the motherboard statue comes to life and begins assimilating him, revealing itself to bear a Hordak insignia. Yeah, you know, I don't know, few words can express how thoroughly Kevin Smith and Netflix have totally ruined He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, and how bold-faced they were about doing it. Yet somehow this shit show has once again gotten a critics rating of over 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, I don't know who these critics are that think this ridiculous woke mess is good. The show just keeps getting more awful with each and every episode. I mean, apart from relegating He-Man to a completely worthless waste of skin, making Adam the planet dipshit and having King Rando and Queen Marlena be the most annoying and pathetic people in existence, yet as usual we get no story, no plot, no depth, no purpose, no direction. But instead, let's just bulk up Evilyn, make her needy, annoying, and give her another "it's all about me" toxic attitude. I mean, the way she berated Skeletor for not treating her with respect and not appreciating, I mean, be serious. Your name is Evilyn. Your boyfriend is a skull-faced demon. You live in an evil castle and do evil, murderous things. Yeah, what the hell were you expecting? Hugs and puppies? They don't even attempt to develop Evilyn as a character and just act like everyone is supposed to understand the absolute horseshit that she does, then accept that everything gets settled with a nice warm talking to and a hug. I mean, the trailer for this crap lied again. The series was utter roadkill, dog shit, horse shit, whatever you want to call it, complete and utter shit. And they tried setting up some weak horror crap for the next season, and we all pray to God they never make, but they probably will because they don't care what anybody else thinks. Ultimately, the series never answered the one burning question that has been present since it first premiered. What the hell is the point of this show? Somebody tell me, because I really don't know anymore. Final rating, 1 out of 5. Continue to avoid this shit like the plague, people. Once again, if you like the video, be sure to hit the thumbs up, ring the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I put out new videos. Let me know in the comments what you think. Subscribe if you haven't already. And if you will excuse me, I think I need a good drink after doing this one. Take care, people.